All right, I'm sat in a basement in Leeds with Dave Longley. This is how it ends for most people.
Not for me.
And you're gonna get out of this basement.
I think I'll get out. I think I'll be all right. Why is Sloss not here? The coward.
He wouldn't open for us on some of my shows. I asked him, you've got a little bit of...
I've got food in it.
Aye. Yeah, I asked him because he's done his last gig.
Ever?
For the foreseeable future.
Oh.
He finished his tour, done a couple of encore shows.
Yeah.
And then he's just had a second child. He's just moved house and he kind of wants to take stock. He done the Have a Word roast.
Yeah.
Which I don't think's out yet, but that was the last thing in his diary was that. And I messaged him just about the local gigs if he wanted to do Fife's his hometown. Kirkcaldy, sorry, in Fife. So I asked him if he wanted to do that at Edinburgh where he lives, and he was like, I'm not going to have any material ready and I'm not doing old rope. So he's just tapped it for a bit.
So we can talk about him more honestly now. He's not doing it anymore. Mm-hmm. Was he ever funny?
Did you not enjoy him?
Nah, never.
Nah, you're just going to come on his podcast?
Never floated my boat. Nah. Always found him a bit... Every time I interacted with him personally, always found him a bit standoffish. Always thought he was a bit up his own arse. And I was like, yeah, you fucker, I'll get you. Don't worry.
Do you not like any of his bits?
I can't remember any of them.
What would you say is your favourite show of his?
Of his?
Aye.
Well, the one that helped me get to sleep the quickest was Jigsaw.
Aye. Did you stay well in after that?
Just about, yeah.
Did she watch it though?
No.
Oh, right, yeah. If she watched it, you'd be fucked.
Mortgages, isn't
It's usually the person that wants to be out that.
Oh, was that the relationship one?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a sad... if he doesn't do it again, that's fucked.
No, he's got to start again. He was talking... We just did a podcast together. He's still doing the odd one of these as a guest.
Good for him. Sloss and Humphries.
Keeping his toe in.
It's the fucking first name on it and he's only barely doing it.
Yeah, that's why we didn't call it Muggins and Cream, because he wanted to be the first name on it.
Right, okay.
He's got an ego. I don't know if you know.
Yeah. I don't know him very well.
You know?
No, I've slept with him, but...
Aye. But didn't learn his first name.
I tell you one thing, his fans are thick.
Oh, you're so funny. So, I think everybody that's listening to this and watching this is on, they're on to you. They know what
Everyone
you're doing.
who listens to this will know, because it's so obvious when people haven't listened.
Right, so just for the record, we'll put this on wax. You're not a gynecologist.
I am not and never have been an obstetrician.
Yeah. You don't believe in God.
Not a Christian. If anything, I'm what's known as an anti-theist.
Oh, go on.
I don't want there to be a God. So an atheist doesn't believe in God. I don't want there to be a God.
You're rooting against it.
I don't want it to be a real thing.
Nah.
It's ridiculous. It's stupid.
What is your religion if you don't want there to be a God, but do you think there's something that's beyond us?
No.
To understand? No. Do you think we've got the understanding of everything and then that's it?
I don't think we have the understanding of everything.
We're just in this chaos.
We're just as important as ants.
Yeah.
We're important to ourselves, but we're not important in a universal context. So I'm not an obstetrician, don't believe in God, not a Christian, never helped a woman give birth.
Do you mean swearing?
Love swearing.
You love swearing, you're quite fond of swearing.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to ask everybody to just pause the podcast for a second and go on any... You've done all of them, haven't you?
Yeah, I miss a few because it gets a bit tedious. Some of the people who know it's a joke will say, oh, this is him just doing a joke.
Yeah.
Ignore him. And you're like, don't ruin it.
But they're also not in on the joke like these guys are. They haven't heard that it's happening because they know not even to like your comment.
Yeah.
So it's the people who figured you out that are saying that, not the people that have been told. Yeah. So go and have a look at any clip where me and Daniel are chatting on the podcast, and we'll just put out a 90-second clip or whatever, and watch Dave Longley just complain about the swearing, about what behaviour or attitudes, and then just back and forth. It fucking entertains me. The last one you did was 68 comments back and forth. You spend your day on it. Yeah.
It does get a bit... It gets so addictive though. There was a Scottish guy on the last one.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were slagging off his country, and he was taking
off his country. Oh, have a good day. Have a good day.
Should we read some?
It's If you want, there's no point. They
can go and have a look.
But what I found is that anything that's written down, people will believe it 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So there's literally, I got rid of them, but there was clips of me doing stand-up.
Dubbing over Roy Chubby Brown.
There's that one as well, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, I don't follow many people. I follow you and I follow Daniel. You both follow me back. Like, how fucking thick do you have to be?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so people haven't, like, they just haven't done a shallow dive.
They've looked on the bio, which I've now changed, but it used to say obstetrician, Christian, and they've looked at it and gone, oh, he's obviously an obstetrician.
And then your stand-up clip, that was the first one to find, was you muted your own audio and put Roy Chubby Brown's audio over the top of yours.
Yeah. But also, you might have to be a certain...
we met.
Oh, fuck yeah!
we queued for a photo. I didn't get a photo.
I've got a photo with him. Yeah.
I took it.
Oh, yeah. That was Sheffield.
Because he didn't have good numbers either, did he?
He was in the big room. We went in, and the first joke we heard was A, racist, and B, didn't make sense.
Yeah, it was about jumping up and down your mum or something.
It was something, yeah, but the punchline was packy or something like that. And it didn't make any sense. And I just remember looking at you and we were like, what?
And people were laughing because you just like said the words that you're not allowed to say anymore. It's so funny. I got a phone call off my friend who I just stayed at his house in Liverpool. I don't know if you know Ricketts, but that's who I'm talking about. So he was on about like, he's a little bit fallen into that trap of like, oh, you can't say anything anymore. And
I had this argument last night. Sorry, carry on.
Did he? Yeah. And he was on about like Little Britain would never get away with what they get away with now, and it's just the same kind of tropes that like they go into at a certain age, like our age.
Yeah.
Right, guys will go, you can't do that, and I'm like, I mean, you can't say anything. Like, have you listened to Dave Longley's podcast? Right? And he was like,
which is what I was arguing about. Yeah.
He was like, no. I was like, man, just fucking do yourself a favour. Go and listen to Dave Longley's podcast, and then get back to me saying you can't say anything anymore. And he rang us just now before I got here. I just can. Are children too sexy? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, that was what I was arguing last night. So I was telling my best mate who's helped me with the AI on the podcast. So he's like helped me with the music and the voices and stuff.
Oh, so I wanted to ask you about that. The conversations that you have. Yeah. Obviously, I can tell some of them is like Gavin Webster, Barry Dodds, Eddie Who.
They're not. That's the beauty of AI. They're not.
Are you trolling me?
I'm not trolling you. They're not.
No, yeah. That wasn't Gavin Webster talking about Raoul Mode.
It was not Gavin Webster.
You're right. I'm being trolled live on the podcast.
You're not.
So okay, pause the podcast right now and go and watch. Go and listen to Dave Longley's BBC Radio Derby. What do you call it? What's the name of it?
It's the Dave Longley Breakfast Show.
Dave Longley Breakfast Show.
The only person's voice you hear on there is mine and an AI of other people's voices.
So you've put Eddie Who's voice?
I put on my Patreon today, only £1.44 a month.
Why that number?
Because I chose dollars.
Okay. So that's a $2 sub.
And I put up a 9-minute AI review of my podcast, and you would not know that those people don't exist except in an algorithm or an AI simulation. It's two people talking back and forth about my podcast. The guy who helps me with the AI stuff is a fucking wizard.
I fell for AI then because I didn't know that was. It's like I've either fallen for AI or fallen for Dave Longley's trolling live on the podcast, and both of them things are a sucker punch.
It's unbelievable. I'm not joking. It's unbelievable what can be done with AI. So the people who listened to that today were just like, A, they've nailed the nature of the podcast, and B, it sounds like two people talking. And so he helps me with all that. So going back to the original topic, he was saying, I think you need to be careful about what you're saying because some comedy clubs aren't going to book you. I was like, that's not a real thing.
No.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. When I was working during lockdown on a building site, this guy said to me, what do you do for a living? I was like, oh, I do stand-up comedy. He said, oh, you can't say anything anymore, can you? And I went, well, you can.
And
he goes, you can't. You can't. And I said, well, the two biggest comedians in the world, Dave Chappelle and Ricky Gervais, have just done 2 specials back to back where they talk about trans people, which is supposed to be the thing that you're not allowed to talk about. And they are the most successful comedians in the world. And he said, yeah, but you can't talk about anything now. I said, I've literally just given you 2 examples.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? I don't know where people are getting it from. Is it because like the mainstream media are being a little bit more careful with how much stuff they put on? Like, and that's why TV's dying, is because they're just going, oh, right, that's going to offend people. We're not going to put that on TV. And TV's getting more and more sanitized. But the fact is, you're not going to TV for your comedy anymore.
No.
Like, you do a live at the Apollo spot now and you'll get like 4 new Twitter followers or something. But like, you could pop on the internet off a clip. And people do hate you in the comments. They're fucking, a day doesn't go by in my life where I'm not getting told I'm shit by somebody in the comments. And, so you will get the people that like don't want you saying the things that you're saying.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop you saying it.
You can absolutely say it. I mean, it's one of the episodes that I did with
Tom Binns. So
let's just set my gay alarm off.
It's a
pedo alarm for Tom Binns.
Gay, that's something you went after before. I want to...
Sorry,
put a pause on that, right? I remember, right, 2013, I'm doing a show with Tom Binns, right? And it was me, Tom Binns, Dan Willis, Dave Haddingham, and Gordon Southern on a gig. Like, that was the pool of comedians.
Okay.
Very diverse. Best of British. And it's on every day. And we're all backstage at the same spot every single day at the festival. And that was when it came out about Rolf Harris...
Yeah,
being a wrong'un, and it was on about like it was basically like a thing for who was going to get the 2 little boys joke. Okay. And I was like, oh, was it boys? And someone went, no, it was girls. And then I just as a joke, bad joke. I went, at least he's not gay, right? bad joke in the moment with comics, pretty funny, right? It died on Tom Binns. And I was just like, man, joking. And he just went, and you still got the audacity to call it a joke. Tom Binns called us out for my essentially homophobic joke about a pedo that was just meant to be like making me mates laugh, like the WhatsApp level chat that you would never do in public, right? And he took offense at it and turned out to have a fucking hard drive full of photos.
But you've got to play the role, haven't you?
I fucking offended a nonce from your shit joke.
How did you offend a nonce? But you've got to play the role, haven't you? You can't for 1 second, like, you can't show any little weakness at all. It's got to be straight in there. I suppose it's like getting accused of infidelity or something. You know how people call it gaslighting now? Oh, he gaslit me. No, he didn't. He just lied.
Yeah.
He lied to try and get out of trouble, which is what everybody does.
I think it's the gaslight element, not like start like projecting it and accusing them of cheating.
Well, the gaslighting thing,
like making them feel like they're on the fucking back foot.
Yeah, you convince the other person that they're mental or that they're insane or something.
Aye.
But so lying, like, so I don't want to name the name, but a comedian was accused of being abusive in a relationship, and you read the accusations, and you're like, oh, he's just a shit boyfriend. He just lied. He's not tried to convince you you're insane.
Aye.
But I gig with Binns on New Year's Eve, 2 weeks before he was sentenced, or in court to be tried. And he was always a bit of a dick. He wasn't always very personable. He could not have been better company.
Really?
He was so sweet.
And was this when like people knew what was happening? Nobody knew what was happening. He was just fucking riding out his last couple of days.
I found out from Jack Carroll. Jack Carroll said, have you seen this? I then asked Toby Foster, who works at BBC Sheffield, to confirm it. And then it was everywhere.
Wildfire. And then he started defending himself to Elliot Steele. Did you see that? Elliot like done a tweet about him and he replied just going, yeah, because you were minging or something. Because Elliot was like, oh, I've worked with this man when I was a child. Something like that. And then Tom Binns, like in his death throes of being put down for being a pedo, told Elliot he wasn't attractive enough for him when he was a kid.
Fucking hell.
At least he's not gay.
Cut your losses. Thank God he's not gay. Jesus. He's at higher risk of AIDS if he's gay for a start. You know what I mean?
I gave blood not long ago, and they were going to be homophobic if I'd been getting rattled up the bum.
Yeah, 12 months it is the way.
I had to lie my way through that form and shit, you know.
Yeah, And I've been to Africa.
Have you?
Yeah.
I done an India trip, and they brought up a map before I give blood and checked everywhere that I'd been, just to make sure that it wasn't like in the red zone of you're not allowed to give blood if you've been there.
AIDS region.
Is that what it is? AIDS region, the leprosy.
AIDS region of India.
I never went to the AIDS capital of India, it turns out. There was a bit where I'd done one either side of the AIDS region and asked how I travelled, and because I flew through the AIDS region I was safe. Yeah,
it doesn't transfer through the air.
Nah.
It's like that movie Outbreak. Once it's airborne, you're fucked. Have you seen Outbreak?
Airborne AIDS.
Airborne, that would be awful, wouldn't it? I would wear a mask for that.
Would you?
Yeah, I think I would.
Kissing men in the nightclub with a mask on.
Just pull your mask down a bit so I can see your big, thick handlebar moustache.
Just draw it on the. So you've got the handlebar moustache at the top and bottom, and then just draw the the marker on. So you can still see it when you're kissing them, and then not catch your airborne AIDS.
What were we on about?
So I stopped you to talk about Tom Binns being offended by my joke, clutching his pearls. Clutching his pills with a hard drive full of child porn.
What an unreal. How is he out? He's still out. He's
is he actually?
Yeah, he didn't go to prison.
Because was it like he didn't make... Because
once you have it, the manner in which he received it, you're immediately found guilty of making it.
Because making it is like, if you copy and paste it, you've made it. When you say made it, it's not you're the guy with a camera.
Yeah.
And you're making it, and they're like,
no, he's not directing it. He's not a screenwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's not like in the room when it happened, but But when you say made it, it's he copied it from one file to another.
So my limited experience, because I used to do child protection, is just for research. I was never in any profession. I just wanted to know more about it. So sort of dodge stuff.
Just like it's how easy it is to get a CRB check.
Yeah, that kind of thing. It's like why I used to teach women self-defense. I used to teach them all the wrong stuff. make life easier.
Left hook. Bring up your left arm. Just block your left.
Yeah.
Left for left, right for right.
This is the point where you accept your fate. You can view stuff online, so that's not making it. But as soon as you download it, the only reason you would download it to a hard drive is to distribute it. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason. So therefore, you are making it. So yeah, and he had 7 Category A images.
Is that the worst one?
That's like, that's
like Ian Watkins sort of
stuff. That's like
the
Marvel Cinematic Universe compared to
like
movie.
Right, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's Infinity War.
And he's just
Tomahawk.
So he's been indulging himself in that, like in his own time, and
he says he wasn't.
And then, oh yeah, ADHD meds was his thing, wasn't it?
ADHD medication made him do it,
which like most comedians are on, which are actually hard to get. Probably harder to get than child porn. You fucking have to join like a 2-year waiting list and shit like that. Like
it's quicker to be diagnosed a pedo. This is self-diagnosis.
People should have been there going, how did you get the ADHD meds? we didn't know.
What were they? They sound really productive. 150,000 images in one night.
Gareth War had a bit. I don't know if he ended up getting it working as a bit, but like when we'd done some writing, he was talking about how like when people have child porn, it's never just a couple of images.
No, it's never one and done.
It's always fucking terabytes of images.
Yeah, it's tens of thousands. Doug Stanhope had a great routine in Live from Across the Street. Is that never any credits on child pornography? Some people are just in it for the art.
Yeah, never rolling who shot it. And
no ego on that side of Hollywood.
Nah. That was a Stanhope bit. I for Stanhope in Newcastle, and I got a message off the barmaid apologising that I had to be associated with that show.
Oh God, was it that bad?
Just saying, he fucking smashed.
Oh right,
he absolutely fucking crushed it. He was class.
Well, I was at his first gig
because obviously his fans are going to come to the show and they're going to know what they're coming to see. But the barmaid's just turning up for work. She didn't buy a ticket, take a punt, and see that thing. She just.
Well, that was the Jerry Sadowitz argument for a couple of fringes ago, wasn't it? Because he kept getting his cock out. But it wasn't really his cock, but the staff weren't aware of that, so they didn't want to be subjected to that, which is fine. I think that's fair.
If someone gets that cock out, you need to look pretty close and just to make sure it is the cock before you complain. Yeah, have a little taste of it. It's definitely tastes of rubber. That.
Yeah.
I mean, it may have just had a rubber on. Take the rubber off. It's definitely a cock.
But I didn't perform. I was at Stanhope's debut UK tour.
Where was it?
Manchester Comedy Store.
Oh, nice.
It was fucking years and years and years ago, and a comedian called Dave Bishop opened for him. Do you remember Dave Bishop?
Nah, I know Des and Aidan Bishop.
So Dangerous Dave Bishop was a comedian in Manchester.
Okay, Dangerous.
Dangerous. He called himself Dangerous Dave Bishop. And Dave got Stanhope over, and Dave opened for him, and he went out, and it was the last stand-up gig he said he ever did. He quit after that. And a mutual friend...
Bishop did?
Bishop quit, yeah. And a mutual friend asked why, and he said because he got heckled so badly that night that he didn't think he could do stand-up anymore. So he was on stage, and someone shouted, "Hold the mic properly. We can't hear you." So then he was like, "Oh, is this? Hold the mic properly. Is this?" And then someone shouted,
I would be like, "Oh, getting a bit of feedback." a little bit of feedback on the mic.
Okay. And then someone shouted, "Dance, fucking dance, you monkey, dance." And then
right. Question.
And
is he white?
No, yeah, he's white. Yeah,
right.
yeah. I don't know why that's relevant.
So, I just think maybe that is some heckling that would make you stop comedy. If you just think, I'm not trying to provide entertainment for these white people any longer.
Dance, jump, do some sprinting, and then someone shouted, "Get your arse out," and he eventually got his arse out, and he said he felt really embarrassed about it. So he's telling all this to this other comic, and this other comic was telling me, and I went, "Yeah, that was me."
Was it actually?
It was me who was heckling him.
You were in the audience at the time where you were stand-up?
A couple of years in.
So you did a couple of gigs? Yeah. So you were like a real-life troll?
Ruined him.
You fucking ended Dangerous Dave Bishop's career by telling him to dance?
Yeah. I said, "Get your fucking arse out." And he got his arse out. And I'm like, "You can't do stand-up. This is atrocious."
I've never heckled any of my pals, I don't think, from stage. But I did feed Carl Spain heckles for Matt Reid at the back of Leighton Live. Because I'd been gigging with Matt Reid loads, so I just knew his set.
Yeah.
Right. And every time he was doing a bit, I was trying to think what the end of it is, and then just whispering to Carl Spain, and then Carl Spain would shout, "Okay, medieval prince." just whatever punchline was coming. I was like, "All right, I think I know this one, and then tell him the punchline, he'd shout it out. And Matt Reid had no idea it was me and Carl Spain. Fucking no idea. I had a really rough time, and then at the end just went, "Oh, well, Johnny Awesome's on next. You can just, I don't know, sing along and dance and have a nice time." I left the stage. I felt bad about it. I didn't feel good. I felt like at the back of the room at Leighton Live, everybody quite drunk were creating a bit of a Leighton Live experience, but Matt Reid didn't enjoy the gig, so I felt bad.
Sorry, my phone's going mental.
What's happening? Is that, yeah? Is it important?
Oh, it's Milo. Get fucked.
Let's chat to him.
Yeah, the last time I died was at Leighton Live. That was my last death.
That must have been a little while ago. Was that pre-lockdown?
2016. Went on after Jared Christmas, who'd got big laughs at 2 a.m. about Kit Kats.
Aye.
So I
that's a skill.
Probably should have read the room, but I thought, it's Leighton Live. Let's fucking do this. Went on.
Do you think you were going to pump them full of something?
Oh, I thought I was going to go dark and they'd love it, and this is what it's all about.
You can do that when you're going on Leighton Live for a fight and they're just sleepy.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
They did not like it one bit. And the joke that got them really annoyed was about, I said, there was a protest. I was talking about the power of women, and women managed to bring this paedophile to justice, and they got all the evidence and they took him to court, and on the day of the sentencing they were all outside court with signs saying "justice at last." And I said the most amazing thing about the protest was that they took their kids there, and that's women. can't resist an opportunity to cock tease. And they just went, no,
not for us. They're like, yeah, we're drunk and sleepy and a bit feral, but we're also artsy students.
Yeah, they're all
in Edinburgh, where it's expensive to live. And, we're middle class, posh artsy people.
They all had an air of history and money.
Yeah.
So then they started booing and screaming, get off, get off, get off, get off. And I got the mic and I put the mic down, I put the mic in the stand and I said, I'm going nowhere and not one of you will do a thing about it, because I had my time to do. And then proceeded to do just worse and worse stuff, shitting in people's mouths, child rape, everything.
And did anyone get on board at that point? Did anybody see what you were doing?
Nobody.
Was that like comedians starting to gather in the door?
No, didn't see anything.
Not even like a bunch, because normally, like, if you feel a bit of that going on, whoever else is on, like, you'd be back there where, you know, there's always a couple of comics that aren't even on the bill, just enjoying the free booze. Just like, and you normally just start seeing heads.
Yeah.
You just start seeing heads appear at the door.
No, there was none of that. There was no camaraderie, nothing. I didn't feel like I got any support. And then then I got my phone out and I filmed the last minute, and I was just filming them. And then I goes, 10 more seconds, and they gave me a countdown. And then I said, I hope they all die on the way home. That was my last death. Bad death.
Enough they did. What do you like? Is a death for you? Because I hate it when comics like think they've had a death when they didn't get a death, when they didn't get the laughs they wanted, and they say that they've died, or then that was shit. I'm like, oh no, man, you've got to.
No, that's not a death. That's a tough gig.
Yeah, that's a tough gig. Yeah. You fucking whatever, walked away with a draw, kind of.
Yeah. A death is
the crowd turn.
It's so obvious what a death is. It's so obvious. People will walk out. They get angry. I think it's the only kind of live entertainment where if something's shit, they get angry. If there's a shit guitar player, you just don't listen.
Yeah, just start chatting amongst yourselves.
But something about comedy just makes people go, who the fuck does that guy think he is? Or girl, more often.
So you've got this silence death.
Yeah,
would you consider that there's zero, like, people feeling awkward looking?
You got nothing to play with. I was at a Tom Horton death where 10 minutes in he was getting nothing, and he got his guitar and he asked this woman for a subject and she just went, no.
Oh, wow. And did he do a song about the word no?
I was the only one laughing. I've never seen anyone sweat so much. I mean, he sweats a lot anyway, but...
Where was the gig?
Nottingham Jongleurs. So it doesn't count. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't count.
Silence would probably be nice in Nottingham Jongleurs, because the deaths I had, multiple deaths in Nottingham Jongleurs, usually Christmas gigs, was nobody listening. Just conversations, like
feral cunts.
Like you're just walking into just like a rowdy, busy barn trying to get their attention, and they don't want any of it, so they're just talking louder than you.
Yeah.
Even though you've got a mic, they're just having the conversations. So like a bit of silence in that gig as a deaf would be, at least you're not fucking listening. At least you're giving me a chance to get out of this.
Yeah, you're not talking amongst yourselves. You actually are a discerning audience who've decided this is not for you.
So I'd say that's the three types: the absolute silence, which is occasionally, like, you'd get like the odd titter at the beginning, because some people will not want the death to happen, so they'll resist the death and titter laugh, but then even they'll run out of steam.
Yeah.
Right. So you've got the silence laugh, you've got the not even paying attention laugh, which is usually to do with the setup of the room.
Yeah.
And then you've got the deaf, which you're talking about, where they turn on you.
Oh.
And that's the like category A. That's the category A death.
That's the death you want.
Yeah.
Well, it's the death I want. I want them to turn. I want there to be an air of... Because after the set, someone said, do you want to walk out the back? And I was like, no. I'm fucking walking through these cunts.
Straight through them.
Fucking bring it on.
I'll face them.
Just nothing happened. But like, I don't know, man. There's something about that. I don't want it to happen again. And I've tried very hard for it not to happen again, and it hasn't happened. There's always tonight. But... the silent one is the worst. Fuck that.
Yeah.
There's nothing to work with.
That's the one where time stands still. You can't, like time stops when it's silent.
Yeah.
Because you start thinking about, like, throwing the kitchen sink at it, you'll try a bit of crowd work, and you'll pop in and, anyway, after a punchline. Anyway.
What else can I tell you about myself?
Yeah, you'll start putting like really obvious, like, ticks in like that.
Yeah.
That sounds a little bit different to your pedo alarm from earlier.
That's
a slightly different alarm I'm picking up on.
Sexism alarm.
That's a sexism alarm.
It's not my...
Took a little while to get off that.
Yeah. It's a bit... needs updating, that system. that silent death, there's nothing you can do. I did a gig years and years ago where I was getting that death, and this woman just went, "Can you sing?" No, I can't. I've never wished I could sing more, but I can't sing. And she just was desperate for... She
just, can you entertain us in an alternative way?
Can you
just
do
change
anything?
gears completely? Do a fucking magic trick, man.
It's with the comedy. It's not working.
These words don't mean anything to me.
Yeah, but I was at a death a few...
Let's pop that door shut. I don't think the mics are picking it up, but it's just a bit off-putting for us, isn't it?
There was a death a few months ago at Manchester Store.
There isn't a... Huh? The Manchester Store at the...
Beer Keller.
The Beer Keller. Who was it? Are you going to... Nah.
I don't feel right.
You didn't like... Tom Horton you'll happily throw under the bus.
Well, because he's doing really well and successful and handsome. And
so you don't mind like making him sweaty when he's bombing?
No, he's fine.
When you paint the picture.
He's come over that.
But you don't want to make this person like a really sweaty bomber.
They've been doing it way too long for a death to happen the way it did. Way too long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like they should have had the tools in the van.
The gig was there.
Okay, so it wasn't even a bad gig.
And they fucked it.
Did they?
They just fucked it. So the big mistake he made was he went on and he did a callback to a joke that the audience had heard 45 minutes ago that they had to think about for too long to get any momentum. So he opened with that joke. It didn't land. They're spending a few seconds thinking. It doesn't get a laugh. He goes to the next joke. They're still thinking about the other joke. So they're not concentrating on this joke. He lands the punchline. They've not paid attention. None of it makes sense. He's a minute in and they all think he's an amateur.
So he's just fumbled his way through the start of his set.
Yeah. And then after 5 minutes, it gets worse and worse.
But then what you would do, right, is you'd just fucking fast track one of your bankers to the front of your set. Wouldn't you?
You'd reset the gig. You'd
reset the gig. You'd go into something that you're going, oh, this is fucking surefire.
Yeah.
I didn't get them on board, but I'm just going to fucking do this bit now, which is normally a safe bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And he did not. And after 5 minutes, the audience had had enough. Mm-hmm. There was 15 minutes left. And the rest of his set
closing
was was high energy. Mm-hmm. So he could not half-arse the jokes. So he's got to sell everything, and no one.
Yeah.
So he gets off. I go back on because I'm.
That's really hard if you can't just like use your natural voice and then go up under them and bring them back up. You know, like
he's got to give it everything.
Yeah, you've got to throw yourself at it.
Yeah. So I go on and I say, ladies and gentlemen, that was blah blah. Doesn't always go our way. No act is booked because they're rubbish. They're all booked because they're funny, but sometimes it doesn't work. But I think we'll all agree that none of us could have handled that with such dignity as he just did. It takes a lot of balls to come up here, and it takes even more balls to cope with that. Big round of applause for blah blah. And the audience were like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, no. that's yeah, okay. Yeah. He fucking ran back on, which you already know is like, don't do that.
Yeah, get the fuck out of there, man.
Yeah, and he ran back on and he screamed, "Thank you very much!" Hands waving in the air. No. And then he says, "If you need to see more of me," and I was like, "Oh no!" And he looked like a crazy person. And he will not be going back to that venue ever again.
No, that's a done.
Because the top guy was there.
Oh, Don was in.
Witnessed the lot.
Wow.
Fuming.
And is he a regular at the store?
Not really.
Nah.
No. There's no goodwill there. It was more of like a trial.
Yeah, okay. And that's bad news for them, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
And he's good. He's dependable.
You've seen him smash.
Just fucked it.
That's really nice to do that when you went on, because it is hard as an MC to go on after somebody who's like stunk the room out.
Yeah.
Because you know you can unionize the crowd, overthrow them under the bus.
Yeah.
And I have.
But you've got to pull the curtain back a little bit and go, yeah, sometimes that happens.
There was one where it was the, you know how they'll have an open spot on the weekend at the stand that's like before the main support?
Yeah.
So middle section, first after the interval, there's already been an opening act. So it's like, it's a nice little sweet spot there. There's this guy went on and he had like his nose sellotaped of his face and he had like a bunch of fucking weird shit going on, like whatever. Yeah, he was clearly a character act, but nobody quite got what like character he was like trying to do. And then he got a water pistol out and started like squirting the girl in the front row with a water pistol who's on a night out and now her makeup's fucking wet, right? So you just like, he's starting, like the crowd are starting to get like annoyed now. And I was like, I'm sure when Harry Hill started, there was probably a lot of like looking at the stage going, what the fuck's happening here? I'm sure like he was weird as fuck to every audience until it locked in and everybody knew what he was trying to do. And then he become Harry Hill. So if you're going to take that route, you're going to have to take them knocks. But it was when he started spraying people in the front row, water pistols and shit, that the crowd started turning. And then because there was like a bit in the middle before the next act, Joe Caulfield was just like, I can't bring the next act on now. Like, what do we do now? Like, I tell you what, just like have a minute to chat amongst yourselves. You should just step aside and just let them converse about what just happened.
That's a great idea.
And then I back referenced it when I went on at the end. I back referenced about like, you think that was awkward for you guys? We've had to be backstage with him this whole time. He's like, and then I pointed at the stand fucking thing. I was like, that's the closest he came to pulling the trigger. And it just really unionized the gig that like Joe mentioned it. Joe mentioned it. Then I mentioned it. Like it was, and we were nice to him backstage. And we're just like, no, we're doing that for the sake of the gig.
It's not personal. We all know. We've all fucking been there where this bit that normally makes people laugh is not working. Something's gone wrong.
But the big laughs coming from like, where with you guys? Like, where with you right now? So that was nice because I think what you did's the right thing to do. It might not be the best thing for the gig, but I think it's the ethically correct thing to do. Is not humiliate.
Well, I didn't get the next act on. Guy. I then did like 5 minutes, got it back on track and all that. But and then the final act ripped it. But yeah, that fucking feeling again. It's not happened for ages. Come close, like where it's gone. I opened in Preston by saying, "Oh, you guys seem lovely last night. Just retards." And they went, "What?" And I was like, "Oh no. Why did I say that? These aren't my friends. Fuck. And then spent 10 minutes fucking clawing it back. Told them, I used to work in care. Don't worry, I know all the proper terminology. Oh, shit. Why did I say retards?
It's the worst. I saw such a funny clip from is it Quantum Leap where like he ends up in somebody else's body.
I'm retarded?
And he just goes, I'm retarded. And then the door swings over and it's like really ominous music. There's a Down syndrome boy in the reflection.
It's the ominous music.
I'm like, oh no.
Oh God, I hope I could leap. Where I got my qualification from when I worked in care, it was developed from a place called the Organisation for Mental Retardation and Developmental Disability. And I was talking to Matt Reese the other week and he says, do you say retard on stage? And I go, yeah, quite a lot, depending on where I am. And he says, I've seen audiences really push back against that recently. And I'm like, oh, what a bunch of retards. But
it's just the way it was adopted as a word. So it's one of them things where it might not have had the same impact or the same intent or anything back then, but now there's a bit more like attached to it, isn't there? So you're using it as a fucking haymaker rather than as a word.
It depends. So like I've had bits in. So I would never open with it. That's ridiculous. It's too difficult. But if an audience is on side and they know where you're coming from and they know what it's about, you can kind of get away with anything as long as like they're involved and as long as they know it's the right side of things. So I've had that loads with my podcast where I get messages going like, I love it because I know what you're trying to do and I get it. And you're like, right, good. So we can get away. We can carry on then. Wow. No one has to worry about it. It's like meeting up with, like I met one of my old school friends the other week and one's Indian, one's black, one's white, and I'm the other white guy. And we all know each other, known each other for fucking ages. So it's just all bets are off. Everyone knows where everybody stands and it's all fine. It's trying to take that dynamic on stage so that people feel relaxed. Yeah,
because there's a couple of guys in Blythe, like a Vietnamese lad and an Indian lad, and they're always just getting banned off Facebook for being racist to each other.
Yeah.
They'll always be serving their 30 days for the shit they say about each other. And
every racist joke I get is sent to me by an ethnic minority. Everyone who sends me a racist joke is always an Indian lad who's always a black lad. But it doesn't wash.
Oh, so yeah, I just want to get back to something that we let go of before. When you're telling us about it being AI doing all the voices, how come you got Tom Binns to sound like Eddie rather than Tom Binns?
No, Tom Binns was me.
Was it?
Yeah. I was very, very definite on that because I wanted nobody to think that I'd actually got Tom Binns on. So I didn't. That's the one I didn't change my voice for at all.
Huh? Why did I think you got Eddie for that?
I don't know.
Has Eddie done any of them?
No.
Because there's so many bits where he's going, do you know what, does that make sense? When he goes, does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's like one of his mannerisms, I feel.
But what you got to remember is I've got 160 episodes of him talking.
Right.
So you feed that into an AI.
So do you get the AI and you converse back to the AI?
Yeah.
So it's reacting to what you're saying?
No. So like the notebook conversation, which I'll send you and I'll give you an idea of what I mean, is that you can put certain things in and it will generate a conversation, and it's a two-way conversation. And all I do is take like a load. That's why it's so much work. I have to take a load of a conversation and strip it down so that I can make a conversation out of it.
Right.
It's much easier when it's just me talking to me.
Right.
Because I can script it and I know what I'm going to say. When it's an AI, it's different because they're going to come out with something that's a bit different.
So Tom Binns wasn't AI.
Tom Binns was me.
And the guy in Benidorm wasn't Barry Dodds.
No.
And the Raoul Moat guy wasn't Gavin Webster.
No.
And I'm not an idiot for falling for this.
No.
Okay. I don't know what's real.
Which again is the point. Like, I don't want anyone to know what's real. All I want is for people to get to the end and go, what the fuck was that? That's all I want.
I mean, that's what's happening. That was
yeah. It's great.
It's brilliant.
It's great.
Like, we've been absolutely howling. Like, we fucking talk about it in WhatsApp groups, and I'm a bit behind on it actually. I've done about 4 episodes.
Okay.
I've still got loads to listen to.
Well, episode 6 was the one where I thought this is where I find out if I'm okay.
Is that the Tom Binns one? Because I did jump ahead to watch that one. That was out of sequence. I watched that out of sequence.
I can't remember which one the Tom Binns one. Because I'm playing catch up. Because originally I recorded 6 to sort of give me a bit of breathing room.
Yeah.
But you know what that's like. I just left it until the last minute, and now it's like, oh shit, I got to do it.
No,
so I haven't got time to think about it. I just do it. But number 6 is the one called Ghosts, Witches, and Psychics, and that's the one where I was like, if anyone's going to complain, it's this one.
Right, and that's out now.
And that's out. Yeah, I'm on 11.
So, a couple of things. How are you getting away with saying your BBC Radio Derby?
I don't know.
You had a cease and desist yet?
No.
No comment at all?
I consulted some legal advice, and essentially nobody will believe that I am on BBC Radio Derby.
It's so obvious that you're not BBC Radio Derby.
The first time you listen to the
but
travel
even when it's
update,
like BBC Radio,
that's from the 1980s.
You got a jingle.
Yeah, that's from the 1980s.
And is that AI or is that just
no?
natural? That's the actual BBC's.
That's BBC Radio Derby from the late 80s.
Okay, so that's one lawsuit. You're gonna be on more charges than Man City. Jerkmate might have something to say, but that would be quite funny getting in a legal battle with Jerkmate.
You can collab with Jerkmate. You Sloss and Humphries can collab with Jerkmate. You can go on Jerkmate website and you can click on collaboration.
Can you?
So Jerkmate won't have an issue.
So they're just like, if you want to push us.
Yep.
So that's just like if I just decide now to start telling everybody like fucking buy an Apple iPhone.
Yeah.
But like if I use the Apple advert now, that would be a different thing.
I don't know how any of it works. My general position is ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Aye, yeah. A lot of rapists say that.
Yeah. Well, I am a rapist.
Oh no!
So
this podcast will haunt me if you turn out to be a bad guy along me.
Yeah, if I do actually.
Like, you fucking man.
Yeah, he was arrested for rape. He fucking told us.
It's like, was there any red flags? Yes. Yes, he was
a massive red flag.
There's a red flag.
There's an admission of guilt. Yeah, so when I spoke to the solicitor about the Radio Derby thing, he just said, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
He says,
who was the solicitor? Just some drunk.
Yeah,
drunk. Ties just loose. He's clocked off. It's 5 o'clock.
Because it's not like misrepresentation, because it's like using... I'm trying to think what it's like. It's like using Mozart. There's no copyright on Mozart, so you can just use it.
Aye, but Mozart's been like, what, 1700s or something?
I don't know.
I never do that, but BBC's like a current organisation.
Yeah, that I'm not working for.
Yeah.
But also, as the episodes progress, it will become quite obvious why I've chosen BBC Radio Derby.
Oh, you've got like a through arc.
There's a fucking
You've got an actual narrative.
What people are listening to is a sitcom. They don't realise.
Is it a big black cock pun?
It's not.
Is it not?
It should be.
You're fond of them.
I am very, very, very fond
You're
of
very
those.
fond of screen capping BBC Pornhub titles. Yeah. And then putting a news story to it, like somebody's upset that their TV license went up.
Some of my finest work, that.
You've got like reams and reams of that.
Yeah.
Is it catalogued? Can they find that? Or is it
that's all. I've left that all on my Instagram. Got rid of all the lifting and all the jiu-jitsu and just left comedy stuff on there. So there's not much.
You've took the lifting off?
Took most of the lifting off.
Yeah. Why?
I think I took all of it off. Just got bored of it. Yeah. I get bored.
Do you still lift though?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you picking up at the minute?
Deadlift 280.
That's fucking...
Just for one.
Nah, that's unrealistic, that.
Just got to work out.
I've 160s where but every time that was just before lockdown. I'd worked really hard getting up to 160.
Which is solid.
And I was happy with it because it was twice my body weight at the time.
Yeah.
And then they shut the gyms. And I was like, I'm going to have to come back to that. Are you ready to do a mic check? Right. You know what? Yeah, let's just keep this rolling. We'll let it.
All right.
Make a little timestamp here. I've got one kind of lens in. 46 minutes.
46. That's not too bad.
Jerk off with someone. You won't last 2 minutes. Jerk.
Cheers, bud. Yeah, 46 or 47. Sorry about that. Just had to do a quick sound check on the mic for the show tonight. What we're talking about, the deadlifts. Yeah, they're closing the gyms. It would, like that fucked me up big time because
loads of people up. That's why I ended up training people because people would come around my garage and lift.
Because I was like, you work hard to get to a point, and like the goal-driven mentality of it and the incremental gains, like you don't realize how much your fucking mental health's attached to that when you're doing it.
Oh God, yeah.
And then to pull that infrastructure away from your like your self-care,
almost like it was planned.
And it was the closing the libraries and the gyms and just going, oh right, so that's how we know the country's run by fat, stupid people, and they don't see any of those things as essential.
Yeah. People want to read. No, lift. Cunts, all of them. But yeah, the BBC thing and the Germate thing, I'm not worried about. Don't care. It'll be fine.
So that's. Is there anything else? No, the content wise, like nobody's not going to stop booking you for gigs.
Just don't see, unless I talk about it on stage. But all of the feedback from comedians and promoters has been like just blown away. Everyone's just
I think you should actually be the case study of like, what is it you want to say if you say you can't say anything?
You can
like what is it you're trying to get away with saying?
Well, look at South Park. It's been around for how long? And it does everything.
Yeah, did they not used to give the episode to the broadcaster an hour before it was due to air so they could watch it and go, we can't put that up? And then they go, well, don't, then you're going to get more complaints for not putting it up.
I think that was one of their strategies. But also they developed the technology so that they could make an episode in 3 days. So they could leave it till the very, very last minute.
Did they used to move cardboard around?
That was the first episode.
Is that how basic it was when they started?
Yeah, which is amazing.
Fucking class, because they were so good. The first ever ones felt really groundbreaking.
Well, I was talking about this with my mate about when the movie came out. We were like, "Oh, that's it. It's over," because the movie felt like an end. Kenny talked. He went to heaven, and we're like, "What a great way to end it."
Aye.
That was season 3. They're on 25,
still
26?
going now, and I don't think they've dropped their standards any.
It's just too good. It's so good.
It just gets funnier. And like every time there's something happens, you're like, I want to see what South Park have to say about it.
Yeah. It's hugely influential. And again, like, you can't say anything. They do it all the time.
Yeah. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what Rockstar Games do with Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
Because that's always caused problems in society with like blaming it on violence and shooting and shit like that. Like they've always hung shit on that, but they've never seemed to give a fuck.
Nor should they. It's the biggest grossing entertainment product in history. 2 days, $1 billion. The biggest problem they're going to have with 6 is like how they're going to distribute it.
Yeah. I mean, surely if you can just download it, it'll just wake up and you'll be on your...
How big are the servers going to be? How it's going to be so complex. They're just going to crash. You know what servers are like? They just crash if they're overwhelmed. Everyone downloading it at exactly the same time. Millions and millions of people. Yeah, it's going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to schedule some time off around about that time.
When's it due out? It's next year, isn't it?
I think it was next January, but I'd imagine it's being pushed back again because they're not going to do what happened with Cyberpunk, are they? Where they go, right, we've got this big marketing strategy, we're putting it out then, and then all the fucking stressed out programmers are like, it's fucking not ready yet, it's glitchy as hell. And they're like, yeah, but we've got the marketing strategy, put it out, and then it turned out to fucking flop because it was too shit to play.
Yeah.
And then now they've fixed it, no one cares about it. It's a fucking great game. Have you played it?
No, never.
It's fucking class. It's fixed.
Right.
But it just flopped because it was glitchy when it released.
Right,
I think Rockstar, by the looks of it, are just going to go, it's fucking ready when it's ready. Like, you wait until we say it's ready.
But they can wait. They've got billions in the bank. Billions and billions. So fuck it. Wait. Make it good. Yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, again, you can't say anything. Watch them. They're about to do it. Although someone said I should pitch a radio show to Rockstar as one of the stations.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, so I might do that. I might send them an email. Give me how long? So let's say a year, 50 episodes.
It's a Scottish company, isn't it?
Yeah, it's based in Edinburgh.
Yeah. You're bound to have an in for that. You're bound to have an ear. You're bound to have an ear at Rockstar Games somewhere.
Someone.
Right, okay.
If anyone's out there.
Reach out. It's funny what people come through with. Just reach out. Somebody might just be pals with somebody that has a job at Rockstar Games that knows the right guy. Like, be the matchmaker and get Dave Longley in touch with a guy at Rockstar Games.
I don't want any money.
And then he can be a radio station.
Scratch that. I want some money.
When we're driving along, listening to Dave Longley speak to fucking... it turns out it's AI. Fucking bewildered as that. I'm still shocked. I fucking thought I'd pinned every person.
Yeah.
It's like, did you run Gavin Webster's voice through it to make it Geordie?
I didn't do any of it. My mate did it.
Did he? And was he trying to simulate Gavin Webster? Or was it just by chance that
He must have done. Yeah, he must have done. Because he lived in Newcastle. He went to university in Newcastle. Yeah. So he knows Geordie voices. But they're both Geordies, but slightly different. But yeah,
he's got a very distinct voice as well, Gav. It's not like you couldn't just have put like Maine or John Fothergill's or Jason Cooks or someone or Chris Ramsey's. Like his is so distinct from.
But he's also got, because of his podcast, he's got tons of his self out there. So that's what the algorithm does. That's what AI does. Is it essentially steals things. So the theme music for FGM of the week on the podcast.
You're gonna have to find out for yourself what that is.
I've got 12 different versions of it.
Yeah. Gonna have to give it 7 stitches.
But all my mate put in was the parameters for FGM of the week, and he was the one who created the company Beast and Orthotics to sponsor it, and AI did the rest.
What is Beast and Orthotics? Is that
it's
just
completely made up? It doesn't exist. Yeah.
What does orthotics mean?
Stuff to help your feet with your walking. That's why the guy says, just because you've got flat feet does not mean that your feet should feel flat, and that's a fact. So the meta joke is that a breakfast show would have FGM of the week. Then you've got the further joke that a company decided that they would sponsor FGM of the week.
That.
So then you've got the joke as well that they are so happy sponsoring it that they'll give you 20% off if you mention it. So there's so many jokes wrapped in it. But his idea was Beast and Authority. It wasn't my idea. He put that into the AI. The AI generated 10 different songs for FGM of the week, and that's the one I picked because it's quite jolly.
Yeah, it goes.
And it turns out that the staff at Birmingham Glee hum it.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's great.
I was fucking blown away when they told me that. They said that when there's a customer who's a bit difficult, because they can't say anything to the customer, they just start going... The home of female genital mutilation.
You should...
fucking amazing.
You should have it as your walkout.
Yeah.
You should walk on stage.
Oh, so going back to that. So yeah, so the way that creates the music is it steals from all the other music that's ever been created. So you just put in cheesy radio and it will create you 10 or 12 or 20 different themes. And so he puts in Geordie, stand-up comedian, talking. The one that's online the most will be whoever's got the most podcasts out.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's how he did it.
Feel a little bit overlooked there.
It's the AI. It's nothing to do with me.
How did the AI not find Sloss and Humphries on the road 2 episodes a week since 2016?
But that's the thing. Maybe your accent is part of that voice.
Oh, do you think so?
Maybe.
Every time Milo does a Geordie on stage, it's my mate Soppet. I don't know if you've ever met Soppet, the squatty lad. It's quite a distinct...
Probably, maybe.
He's got quite a distinct, like kind of angry Geordie accent,
right.
And he always slides into that, and it's always Soppet.
Yeah.
It's really funny because it's like he nails it.
It's
just like I'm watching Soppet do stand up.
I asked Milo if he wanted to do anything on it, and he said absolutely not.
Great as a good guy. He's getting contracts with like fucking PGA golf and in Formula One. And
do you want to do FGM of the week? You want to put your entire career on the line?
Can you plug it on your socials?
I did message him that. I said I think it would be a good idea if you did it. But
well, I think the best way for comics to plug you on their socials is to just do what me and Danny did and pretend that don't listen to it, or like we listen to it so you don't have to.
Oh,
like
it's just it was just dead nice.
If Milo's like absolutely do not listen to this, then what's he saying?
Yeah, but I've opened for Milo on his tour shows. And I just don't do that kind of material.
Yeah.
I keep it really nice and pleasant. And my job that night is to warm everybody up for him. It's nothing to do with me. And it's the same tonight. It's nothing to do with me. I try and, when I open for Bragg, I make sure none of that's done. But the whole point of it is like, I've got this opportunity to be completely free. And it's all on me. So why not just do it? Why not just go for it? Make yourself laugh. Like, if you listen to Ad Nauseum, Derek and Clive, it's fucking amazing.
Is it?
Peter Cook and Dudley Moore from early 80s, I think, or late 70s. It's unbelievable. And it's so good. And it's essentially a podcast, but it was done before podcasts exist. It's just those two in the studio going back and forth.
Great.
And it's unreal.
It's boring, it? Yeah, because I think there's a difference. So, like, there's the stuff that you're saying that's like, you're being fucking tongue firmly lodged in your cheek.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I can intellectually defend all of it.
But then there's some shit I was listening to from like Opie and Anthony where I was just like, oh, you guys are bad men.
yeah.
Like, he was a really abhorrent guy that like I feel like women are safe around.
Yeah. But I was chatting about it on the way in with Bragg, and I was just like, I can intellectually defend. So I've written one this week where I'm talking about how great Britain is, and but also talking about patriotism and how that leads into a certain kind of exceptionalism which breeds a bit of racism. And that's what nationalism can end up being. So I cover it all and I can intellectually defend it. But at the end of the day, the punchline is going to be, unfortunately, something that's a little bit tongue-in-cheek racist.
Yeah. And it's usually said by the opinion cow, who you just have to agree to disagree
Opinion cow's her own thing. She's a law to herself.
I love the opinion cow because like you're being the voice of reason. You're always just holding that to account, and then at the end, just like it's exasperate. Like we're going to have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, have to agree to disagree. But that's cows. They're all anti-Semitic.
Yeah, that one is for sure. I don't know. Jewish people wouldn't eat. I found out in adult life that they won't eat the animal and the milk. You can't have a latte. I was at a Jewish cafe in London. I ordered a latte and a burger, which is a weird
Jewish
combo.
People can.
You can't have beef with milk.
Jewish people can eat beef.
You
mean Hindus?
No, I mean they don't do the two things together.
Oh,
You can't have beef and milk. Which is a strange order anyway, a latte and a fucking burger. It was something along them lines, bud.
So they can have beef. They can have milk. Can't have beef and milk.
Yeah, and if I'm making this up, it's because a cafe denied us it, and then Natalie told me that's why. I thought you.
Was she trying to calm you down?
I thought you should know this. How do you not know that?
Don't kick off about this. I want a burger and I want a latte. What is the fucking problem? It's a religious thing. Oh.
And it's because I'm there with my Muslim wife. I'm not serving you. They just wouldn't serve us. Yeah, that's you didn't know about that.
No, I've never heard that.
Yeah,
I know, all my friends are Indian. I know about like you can't eat
the animal
certain things on Tuesday, and you've got to be a bit holy and all this sort of thing. But
I think it's the animal and the thing of the animal. So I wonder if is there anything else of the animal that we eat. I guess cheese. So you couldn't have you couldn't have a cheeseburger. Maybe it was that I was ordering. Maybe it was like cheese on my burger.
Where were you eating?
It was in where's Sherlock Holmes from again?
Oh, Baker Street.
Yeah, Baker Street.
What?
And I wasn't allowed. It was something to do with like that would have been it. I wouldn't have been having a latte and a burger. I would have been trying to have cheese on my burger or something. And Natalie was like, "You're not allowed the thing of the cow." But then now I'm starting to really doubt it. I don't know what's real anymore after your AI fucking bombshell, which I keep going back to. So I'm not gonna assume that I know the facts of life because the one situation in my life pointed that direction.
Right. Yeah.
But that's the world I lived in up until now.
AI is unreal what it can do. I literally so you haven't caught up yet, but I've got a quiz show theme, and I just put in quiz show cheesy, bang, 10 songs.
Yeah.
10.
What do you use? What app do you use?
I used quite a few for the interview between the two AI people. Again, my friend did it. I'm saying me. He did it because I don't know what I'm doing. But he used Notebook by Google. And honestly, listening to the two people talking, do you know what? I might just as a finisher.
The doors need to open now, so let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Because they're going to want to let the crowd in, which means playing music.
But the crowd going in. Oh no, that's not the one.
Oh no, they've started the music. I don't think it's going to go on the podcast. What are you wrapping up with here?
So this is two people talking about the Dave Longley Breakfast Show. Oh, I might not even get a signal. Oh, here we are.
All right, buckle up. Because today we're diving headfirst into the utterly bonkers world of the Dave Longley Breakfast Show.
Oh, this one is a doozy.
We've got a YouTube video and a transcript, and let me tell you, it's like someone marinated a British morning radio show in pure absurdity.
It's satire, but with a bite. Like a comedic hand grenade aimed right at society's soft spots.
From the second it starts, it's pure chaos. But the genius is how they use that chaos to actually make some pretty insightful points.
It's like they took the most ridiculous parts of morning radio, the wacky news, the outlandish traffic, the even more outlandish callers, and amplified it tenfold.
And it works. I mean, who needs traffic reports when you can have escaped zoo animals on the M1?
Right. It's so absurd, but it also makes you think maybe our fascination with these little bits of chaos says something about us.
Exactly. Keep it going.
Sorry?
No, that's good. I just want to listen to the rest of it. Does that go on?
I'll say 9 minutes.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
It's a conversation for 9 minutes. And they start talking about the opinion cow, FGM of the week, the callers. And you're listening to it going, this is completely fabricated. Mm-hmm. It's not two humans talking, it's AI generated, which is why it's so powerful, which is why I give it all to him to do.
Is this the point where we tell the listeners that this is actually AI?
Yes.
And we never lifted a finger?
And yeah,
we were just sat there having a beer backstage.
Yeah, the beard was just to hide the lip movement.
Yeah. You just got an Instagram filter on. All right, Dave. Thanks for coming on the podcast. And if you want to find Longley's, it's the morning breakfast show.
Dave Longley Breakfast Show.
Dave
on
Longley
all
Breakfast
your
Show.
podcast platforms.
Yeah,
live from the East Midlands, and Patreon's £1.44 because I chose dollars like a retard.
Is that how many people come to Bilbo Baggins's 111st birthday?
144.
144 guests.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Is that a gross?
I think that's right. That's right.
I've just listened to that chapter. Andy Serkis reads it. The audiobook of Lord of the Rings.
God, I haven't read it for years. I didn't like the film because they left out Tom Bombadil.
I heard that. Yeah. I mean, I've seen the film, but like, I don't think I've read a Tom Bombadil chapter.
Tom Bombadil's like the most powerful creature in the whole.
Is he in book 1 of Lord of the Rings?
In the Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay, so that's the one I've read. I've read the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
So I would have, but that like as a kid. Yeah. But I never read the rest.
You'll come across him. Yeah. It's when they, Bilbo stumbles across him. Not Bilbo, Frodo.
But they brought him into the Ring of Power. He's in the Ring of Power, Tom Bombadil.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
He's in season 2. People aren't enjoying that, but I'm watching it on mushrooms, and it's really good. Oh. I've been taking mushroom chocolates with my wife and watching.
I didn't mind the first season. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Not great, it's fine. It's not Game of Thrones, but, what is?
What is. So, get on Dave's podcast, and big shout out to J.R. Tolkien, and watch Lord of the Rings.
Word.
I think they need help.